Hello, and thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to do a graphics card upgrade on my Acer ATC 780A UR12. I purchased this computer several months ago. It was a refurbished unit, and I thought, well, for the price you couldn't beat it. Usually they go for about $500, and I got this one for about $350. It's got Windows Home 10 64-bit. It's got a 7th gen Intel Core i5 processor, 7400, and it has the graphic card that's currently installed is it's on the chip graphic card, and it doesn't do that well. I mean, it's okay for what for what you're getting, but I wanted something with a little bit more kick. In my previous video, I purchased a video card from China. It took about a month to get here, and that was the GT730 4GB. This one had a 1 terabyte hard drive, and that was a physical drive, and I did upgrade that to a M.2 that was that you could put on straight onto the motherboard, and that increased the speed a lot. Has a built-in DVD Super Multi-Drive. Now the DVD drive that's in here, it's not a regular one, it's like the one that goes in a laptop, and I think it's a 12 millimeter or something like that, but it works just fine for what I use it for, rarely. This computer is set up in such a way that to be able to load any other operating system, it won't use the USB. It has to go through the CD-ROM for some weird reason. I think I have to go in and turn off the UEFI before it'll actually do that. It does have a card reader on the front, and I'll show all that to you in a moment. And then it has the integrated Bluetooth, and it also has 802.11ac, 2.4 gigahertz, and 5, and 802.11ab, G, and N. So it's compatible, forward and backwards. So if I were to take this anywhere, like a gaming center or something, then I wouldn't have any problem hooking up if it had older. But more likely, they're not going to have anything past probably G, but older than G. Anyway, like I said, this has got a 7th generation i5 7400 processor in it. This is not you can't overclock this one. That's the drawback on this computer, and it's not that it was refurbished is why it was so cheap. I think it's just most people, if they want anything this powerful, they're going to want to be able to overclock it. Personally, for myself, I don't care. I use mine mostly for video editing and stuff like that, and hence the new graphic card. But other than that, it works fine for what I want it for. Okay, like I said, I'm going to install the video card in this one, but I'll go ahead and give you a look around. And you can still purchase these online at Best Buy. I think they're a little bit more expensive now, but they're still a really good deal. And let's see, front of the computer. Like I said, I put this over this because the light's so bright at night. I do leave my computer on all the time, so I wanted to do that. And right here's here's the bay for the CD-ROM. Like I said, it's a smaller one, and the card reader, 2 USB 3s, headphone mic on the front, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a bare front there. It doesn't come off or anything like that. Let's flip it around. You can see the back of it, and you have the VGA, which I wish they would have just put 2 HDMIs, but nevertheless, that's what I got. And you have 4 USB type 2, USB 3. I think this is USB 3.1 that has the power over it, so I can hook up a hub and have more USB 3.1s. Also, you have the NIC card, and here's all your line in, line out, stuff like that. I don't have anything installed in this area right here. This is where the new video card. The new video card is takes up dual slots, and so I guess it's because it's got such a large case on it. But that's where that'll be going. This is very simple to pop out. So let's go ahead and open it up, and we'll get started. Okay, here's the inside, and I just go ahead and I popped off the side here. I mean, there's really nothing to see besides taking out 2 screws and then popping that off. But if you'll notice, we have the PCI down here, and there's one right beside of it. It's a PCI Express. It's the smaller port. I don't really have anything to do with that. I was thinking maybe in the future I'll put in some more SATA ports, because this one only comes with 2, and the other one is taken up by the CD-ROM, and I don't really need that, and I have an external CD-ROM, so I thought maybe that would be something for a future upgrade. Here's the hard drive that came with it, and I don't know if you'll see it or not, but down in here, right there, is the, I'll see if I can focus in on it, but that is the M.2, and that's 256 there. I purchased that before everything went crazy on the memory market, and got that for a very good deal. That increased the speed of this like, you know, triple. But because when I first purchased it, I was running Windows just off the hard drive, and it was like going back to dial-up, and it was insanely slow. As far as putting in a video card in this, there's a few obstacles. Like I said, the inside of the case is so small. I mean, if you see my hand, it's very tiny, but shouldn't be much of a problem. Like I said, I've saw other people put video cards into smaller machines than this, and they had plenty of room. But let's go ahead and pop it in there. So here is the, they make it pretty easy for you. They do like that. And the only hard part about this is breaking off these little hinge models over here, the little doors. But I should be able to get that off without tearing anything up. There's some, looks like some part of the motherboard is sticking up, so I don't want to push any of those resistors over. So if you just very carefully do it, it should pop right off, and voila. It's amazing. I've been working on computers since the early 80s, and these really have not changed that much. I mean, they used to be more sturdier and stuff. I mean, they're just like real flimsy now. I mean, you can bend them pretty much in any direction, but they're pretty much real flimsy now. Anyway, there's the slot I'm going to be using. Let's go ahead and put that in the up position, because it's going to click down. And where's my video card? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me put you in a different position, and so you can get a better look, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and I believe you will be able to get a pretty good bird's eye view of this. Here's the video card, and there is a cable that runs from the 802.11 AC card. So I'm going to have to be very careful putting this under there, because it's like right in the way. But just flip it back around and push it in, lift the cable, slide it around. Let's see here. Yeah, it's going to take up 2 spots on this grid here. Come on, what am I doing? Why is it not wanting to go in? Well, it's really a tight fit. I was surprised. I assumed it was going to be a lot easier than this. This cable is giving me hell. There we go. There, okay. I was able to pull on it and get a little bit more room. Oh yeah, the antenna is very long, so I should have plenty of room now. We'll just have to tuck it back in there later, do some cable management. Okay, that popped right over. What am I doing here? Let's see. Maybe that has to go down. Oh, okay. So this little lever down there has to be in down position before it'll accept the card. It's not like the memory slots. Well, go in. Okay, that went down. Okay, I hope you heard that little pop. That means everything's been seated properly. And as I feared, it does take up the PCIe Express slot, the little small one right beside of it. So that's out. No further upgrades for this computer as far as SATA cards or anything like that. I can upgrade the memory, the RAM, from 8 to 16. Actually, this will take 32, but there's no way I'm going to pay that much for 32 gigabytes of RAM right now. And probably after about 3 years, this computer's going to be replaced anyway. This card can work with 300 watts, so the power supply that's in here is plenty big enough. And because there's no place on the video card that you can actually add more power to it. So that's one reason, another reason that I purchased it. Let's see here. This video card did come with a driver's manual. This says video VGA card drivers, so I'm not sure exactly what's up with that because I'm not going to use that. I'm going to be using the HDMI. Came with 2 screws. No room for error, no room for losing anything. So let's go ahead and pull that wire taut again. Hope you can see this because I really don't want to have to go through this again. Video card installed. Everything looks good. Large amount of dust. And I've already cleaned it like twice already. Anyway, let's go ahead and put the screw in here. I don't think this is gonna, I don't think the way this door's made, that, nope, you do not need screws. You can put a screw in it, but you don't need it. Unless it's, okay, I see. So you put the screw in after the door's shut, so it snaps back. It's tight, buddy. Tight, tight. Oh, well, there we go. There we go. Okay, so the screw serves as to hold the door shut too. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. So let's go ahead and put that screw back in. Yeah, you're not going to be opening this up again from the outside. It came with 2 screws. I'm going to use 2 screws. Might as well. That way I don't want to wear that later. Okay. Everything's installed. Looks good. Let's go ahead and put the door back on. I'll get it hooked back up and we'll check back in with you in just a few minutes. Thank you. Okay, and we're back. It's been about 2 hours since I installed the video card and ran into some problems with this Acer. It's so proprietary that you have to wrangle around with some of the settings before you can actually get the card to be recognized by the computer. I went on several forums and found a few workarounds, but the only thing that seemed to work, well, the first one was to go into the device settings and disable the onboard video, and that would have worked, but since it's an Acer desktop, it had to be a little bit more problematic. So I finally found the workaround for it. Was I had to go into the BIOS and I had to turn off the secure boot, and then I had, for the video, onboard video, I had to put it to legacy, and that was enough to get the card to recognize. I'm in the process now of putting the drivers in, and I decided to go ahead and use the drivers that came with it in the box, and if it needs to update, then I'm sure it will. So let's go ahead, and I think I'm gonna do a custom because sometimes they'll add little malware to these CDs. So let's see exactly what it's loading. Okay, I don't see anything that's malware or malicious. So let's go ahead. But like I said, it took me about 2 hours to figure out, um, going on forums and stuff like that. And I noticed a lot of people had the same problem. For them, it was as easy as just disabling the video, onboard video, but that did not work for me. And I guess my computer being newer, they sort of locked it down more. But like I said, I just disabled the secure boot and make sure it was the onboard was set to legacy. And just for good measures, though, I did disable the onboard video. And when it booted back up, went straight into the desktop. Not sure exactly how long this is going to take, but let me go ahead and pause it right here, and I'll come back when I'm ready, when it's at the end. Okay, we're back. Those drivers on that disk were apparently old or out of date or something, not signed, but it just said it failed. So okay. Okay, looks like we're back on. Let me go into the device manager, and looks like we got the display. It's showing the Nvidia Geforce GT730. Let's go down to the properties. Okay, everything looks good. Let's go ahead and try to do another update and see if there's anything else newer out there. Okay, it says the best drivers for your devices are already installed. Okay, well that's it. Looks like I've got a new video card, 4 gigabytes. Anyway, that is the complete install and setup of the GeForce 730 4 gigabyte DDR5 graphics card. Hope you enjoyed it. Please thumbs up, and please subscribe, and I'll try to be back with something pretty soon. Thanks.